Puzzle pieces. The more pieces of the puzzle that you can recognize and understand, the more successful you'll be. So some people call that mastery, some people call that skill building, some people call that convergence. It has elements of all those things, I believe. Let me discuss that a little bit. So you've heard the famous story of the elephant. Everybody has a little piece of the elephant and they're trying to guess what it is. It's only the person that has the whole elephant that actually knows what it is. Like if you have a blindfold on and you have to just touch a little part of the skin or whatever. So that's how we go through life. Like life is so much complicated information. We have tiny little pieces, not only in our domains, in our jobs, in our businesses, in our relationships, in our understanding of the universe and the cosmos. And it's kind of sad because we are evolving in our understanding and our competence, but we're also running out of time in our lifetime to be able to utilize it and maximize it. So how do you develop more of the puzzle pieces of the understanding? There's a lot of different aspects to it, but I think purpose, vision, focus, open-mindedness, attraction, personal growth mindset, there's self-discipline. There's a constellation of personal qualities that allow you to become more competent and expert in the things that you do. Now, you have to know how to integrate the big and the small together, because it takes a lot of repetitions to get really good at something, but you don't want to just become so immersed in the details that you lose the big picture. It's like that's when you become, the biggest fish in the smallest pond. So you have to spend some of your time just building the core competencies. You have to build other parts of your time expanding your capabilities and expanding your vision and expanding your integration and expanding your convergence so that you understand what your knowledge is and how it connects to different sources of knowledge. See, that's where the puzzle pieces come in. Like, a puzzle can be very complicated. It can have a little blue section, for the sky. It can have a little green section for the trees. It could have a little courtyard. It could have a building. It could have people. And when you just lay the puzzle pieces out, you see a whole bunch of different faces and people and body parts of the puzzles, but you don't know which people goes with which. That's kind of like things that look similar, unless you really understand the context and have the competence in your field. You're not gonna, like they say, not everything that glitters is gold. That if you're an expert in diamonds, you can instantly spot the cubic zirconia. But if you're not the expert, then you might just think that things are valuable that are not less valuable. That happens in stocks all the time. People get this great stock idea, they do a little bit of research, and they're like, well, I know the stock is going to be good, or I know the stock is going to be bad, and they don't understand the broader context. They don't, have enough knowledge that's deep enough, broad enough, to really put that one stock in context of what the market is doing, what the industry is doing, the historical, the macro environment, the micro environment, whatever the factors may be. So it comes down to really becoming sophisticated in your analysis and in your processes of analysis. Like I said before, it's not the ones that win are not the ones that just have the will to win in the competition, but the will to prepare to win. Are you developing the systems, both externally and internally in yourself as well, that routinely put you in the best position to win? Do you have the mindset? Do you have the information flow? Do you have the people skills? Do you have the networking? Do you have the financial acumen? Do you have the product knowledge? Do you have the product development knowledge? Do you have the communication skills? And then, tying all these things together, do you have the industry knowledge? Do you have the emotional intelligence? Have you looked at, do you have the cognitive abilities developed? You know, your memory and your comprehension and your understanding. Are you able to build up your discernment to understand like what is critically most important? Do you have time management? So there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of different pieces. So puzzle pieces refers to the fact that life is complicated and you have to know what is important and you have to build up the skills and the experience and the expertise. And not just the knowledge, but knowing how to learn, knowing what you don't know, knowing what your limitations are, self-awareness. So you can tell like in 6 minutes here, 5 minutes and 44 seconds, there's a lot of different dimensions, there's a lot of different parts. They have to be integrated into kind of a seamless whole in order to understand the puzzle pieces.